well too, so that's your 20/80 split with Meadows. The same kind of format. Got your above the line per Jeff's,
How many event coordinators do you have?
I have one only, but I have a part-time one now at the lakes that started just part-time to do phone calls and emails. And this person's moving up rapidly, and they're doing a small increase, not on LOE, but they're doing an increase, so hopefully that will help soon and happen, because they're writing all the contracts now for weddings, they're writing all the contracts for banquets, they're doing a lot of the work, so it's at City Hall for approval. I put it in, which is a $14 an hour job. I mean, it's not like it's going from 30 to 35 or something, to 12 and 14, you know, and that person's good, so. You have to remember, golf is a 19-hour-a-day business. In season, everybody gets there around 6 a.m., and we usually don't leave till 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning. I mean, it takes a lot of people to run that golf business. No one, you know, looks at it that way, but it's a lot. I mean,
I'm not a golfer, so.
yeah. I will say, one of the windfalls in Taylor Meadows is the simulators. They're doing excellent. They're doing excellent. Simulators are up.
We bought those, correct?
Tifa bought those, yeah, they're paid for. We would have been able to pay them off in 2.75 years, $160,000. So it's definitely a good, we're on our 3rd year now, so they'll be paid for, and it's all, so it is, it's unique, and it's a great idea. We used to lease space and get $4,000 a month for the space and bring a company in to run simulators, and they had old technology and junk technology. Tifa decided to step up and presented it to the Tifa board. They bought us the simulators and the screens and the whole bit, and the TrackMan, and we are loaded. I mean, it's hard to get a tee time during the winter. So it's definitely, you know, I would highly recommend, no matter what, you know, the city keeps up with the simulators. That's a good part, good for Taylor Golf. It's a good ancillary income.
So that Meadows only.
Only in the winter, November through March. Well, December through March. But there's not much going on in November. People are getting Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving, we start.
so Jeff, I have on the screen, I have the revenues for Meadows, and I just highlighted simulators, so.
Yep. Yep.
Well, you got food and beverage underneath that too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
What is that food simulator?
So
We break out the
You
food.
get pretend food.
We wanted to help report back to Tifa. We wanted to segregate the food for the simulators and the beverage
Oh,
simulators.
okay.
So during the winter, that's the revenue. And
Oh, okay.
It's 120, 130.
yeah, it's a definite. But, you know, I gotta warn you, you know, and I said that, I started out saying that, you know, we could be short again this year, so we'll have to make a decision on what we do. I don't believe it's a structural deficit in golf, because the numbers can be, if we get the weather, we can be positive, but there's no guarantees. And I don't care what golf company, you know, they always say, oh, well, why don't we have a third party run the golf courses? Well, I can tell you what happened to the Sportsplex when that happened. They built it in 2000. We've had 2 or 3 lawsuits. We've had it just from a building that's completely was crumbling, and we lost all our business. 7 years ago, we took it back as a city, and guess what? They wouldn't pay us $6 million for it now, and we're turning down offers of $10 million. Bona fide $10 million offers just in 7 years, $4 million. So what happens when you let a third party run it is they suck all the income and revenue out of it, and they don't do any repairs, and you get a dilapidated asset back with no client base, because everyone's frustrated about going there because it's in poor condition. I don't know if I can substantiate the argument that the city needs 2 golf courses. I don't know, because we're competing with ourselves in some way. But since they're a flood, in the day we could. But today, I don't know. It's a flight.
A question for you. If we had to go down to one, which one is cheap?
You can't ask me that without me having time to get prepared for that. They both have their attributes for different reasons. They do. I can tell you this, if Lakes of Taylor was on Telegraph Road, and the entrance was off Telegraph, and the golf course started there and went back, I would say Lakes of Taylor immediately. But the way it was designed with the 2nd floor and the whole,
It's way too far back off the road.
I just don't know if we could get what they're worth either. That would be like, if we went to try to sell one. I mean, Jason's heard me say this to Tifa before, you built them, you gotta help me take care of them. You know, and I've said that, and he's heard me say that. We could be short. Last year, the contribution was close to a couple $100,000 last year we were short because of horrible weather and horrible sales. Well, now we've increased the chef and the food and a new restaurant GM, and I'm hopeful that we can, you know, it's not for lack of effort. I mean, they're not closing golf courses because everyone's making $1 million. You know the standing joke in golf? How do you make $1 million in golf? Start with $2 million. I mean,
Well, hopefully.
And Jeff, one of the comments, through Chair, one of the comments too, Jeff's well aware of this as well, is that TIFA is not, infinite plan. It, I think, expires the year 2030 or just before 2030. So, Jeff, like I said, Jeff's well aware of it, and like I said, because they do pay for a large portion of the capital projects for the golf courses and TSX. So, again, if they're not there, then it's like I said, the plan's got to.
Refresh me, if TIFA goes away, that money goes back to the county, correct?
Oh, no,
Do we still collect it?
we collect it.
Reflected. But they share back whoever they're captured from, and as of right now, they still don't capture the county operating or the jail. So a lot of the revenue that TIFA does capture is city taxes, the operating, the police and fire. But there is other areas like RISA, Wayne Community College, HCMA that they do capture still outside the city, but a lot of it is city dollars that are captured.
Any other questions? I mean, I'll be, I'm in the trenches, but you'll be there with me in June or whatever when we see what our spring, because our spring is big. April, May, and June. If we have a good April, May, and June, we caught up. Now, when we talk about the Sportsplex, I want to tell Jason too, because Jason sent me an email. Hey Jeff, it looks like revenue's down at the Sportsplex. Well, in a 4-week period, I posted over $125,000 of cash. Why? Because I was waiting for all these tournaments to pay. I knew they were good for it. We had a signed agreement, but all the cash, we're cash business, so it all comes in at the, at once. So even though the year-to-date budget looked like I was low, a lot of that came in, Jason. I mean, we posted like 125. And I knew it was coming. I said, yeah, it's coming. He goes, it doesn't mean anything to me, Jeff, until it's selected. He goes, cash is not cash collected until the sale is collected. But I knew I had agreements with these groups that I'd written agreements with years. They changed the way the league did the billing, so I knew it wasn't going to come every month. It was going to come 3 times, and I was waiting for the 3rd payment. So, and it came. So, yeah, So anyhow, that's my warning or my line to you to say, listen, and you know what? And you know what? People don't like to hear this. My brother has 7 golf resorts in California that he runs, and I pass things by him all the time. Am I doing this right? What do you think about this? What do you think about? He said, Jeff, we could do no better. He has a company that comes in and runs golf courses for municipalities out west, in the desert, in Arizona, in New Mexico, and so I use him as a sounding board a lot. I just don't make these. Oh yeah, they spend a lot of money for that.
That's the only thing green in Arizona.
Yeah. So anyhow, I have a nice resource and I pass things. Sometimes you said you hit a single, sometimes there's a few triples I hit. The simulators, he said I hit a home run. So.
Does anybody do simulators year-round or in the summer?
No, they don't. Top Golf's the only one that I'm aware of. Because everyone wants to be outside. It's kind of like bowling in the summer. Everyone doesn't want to bowl in the summer. They want to be inside because it's cold out. So, but it's not a bad idea. We thought about keeping it warm, but where? Yep. So, all right. So we're all fully disclosed. So I just want to make sure that everyone knows where we're at. Okay. TSX.
I got nothing to add. Anything else? Questions on the golf courses? Okay, then